Live from downtown Macon, this is WGXA News live on YouTube.
Hi, good evening, Middle Georgia. I'm Greg Lloyd. Amanda Peralta is off. We want to thank you for watching WGXA News at 5:30 live on YouTube. By water and by air, the search efforts continue for a Centerville man who disappeared on the water at Vanishing River Park Sunday afternoon. Now crews are racing against the clock to hopefully deliver the family good news. Irena Plunkett was there to detail what happened today.
Monday morning marks day 2 of a frantic search for a Centerville man who went missing on the Ocmulgee River.
I can just only imagine how they feel. Just only imagine. They don't look happy or anything. Who would be happy?
The family of 20-year-old Raymond Ellison Jr. stood by as boats hit the water and helicopters flew above Vanishing River Park looking for him. According to the coroner's office, Ellison was last seen floating in a tube Sunday afternoon, but when witnesses say they looked back, they couldn't find him. Onlookers are expecting a tragedy, one that mother Carolyn Gittin says is a parent's worst nightmare.
Well, I can just only imagine how the person feels because I have a 26-year-old that still lives with me at home, and I wouldn't be able to get up out of the bed, to tell the truth. I just wouldn't, because I would rather die before my child died.
The suspected drowning is one of the many at Vanishing River Park, prompting Bibb County commissioners to implement new safety protocols in March of this year. Our records at WGXA show nearly 3 months to the day a similar incident occurred. A 22-year-old drowned after being taken by the current. A month later, and new rules were put in place, requiring anyone who enters the river to wear a life jacket, no matter your age, and ban anyone under 16 from entering without adult supervision. Now, with another search underway, Gittin says all she can do is keep the faith.
That we're just going to pray for the family. Just pray for them because they're going to need all the prayers, the support. I hope they have a big support around them because they're going to need it.
Reporting in Macon, Irena Plunkett, WGXA News.
The Memorial Day weekend turns tragic for another family and their 4-year-old drowned in a home swimming pool yesterday. The Bibb County Coroner's Office says first responders were called to a home on Grace, Trace, and Lizella and rushed the child to the Children's Hospital. The family was visiting from Marietta for the holiday weekend. The drowning has been ruled an accident, but because of the child's age, the GBI will investigate. A Bleckley County teen died after an ATV accident in Dodge County. According to the State Patrol, the 13-year-old girl was riding on her grandparents' land when she lost control while making a turn and flipped the vehicle. The grandparents went searching for the teen when she didn't return home. She did not survive that crash. Saturday marked 3 years since Kevin Bass was last seen in Baldwin County. Friends told detectives they believe Kevin Bass may have taken his own life, but the missing persons case remains open with the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office. Bass's mom believes foul play may have been involved, but says regardless of what may have led to Kevin's disappearance, she doesn't have closure.
I think it was homicide. I think somebody took my child's life and they know where his remains are, and all I want is for somebody to tell me so I can bring him home.
The Baldwin County Sheriff's Office says they have no evidence of homicide in the Bass case. His phone pinged after he was reported missing somewhere in the radius of the Bertram Forest and Ocmulgee River. Despite extensive searches with the help of sonar, underwater divers, and canine units, he was never found. If you know anything at all about the disappearance of Kevin Bass, please call the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office 478-445-1445. A Georgia family continues its fight for justice. 2 brothers were found dead in Fitzgerald almost 4 years ago, and their mother is still searching for answers. A Sunday evening event was held to bring awareness to the case as family and friends continue the search for the truth. Carlos Stevens spoke to the mother, and she told him investigators have yet to make an arrest.
That's the lyrics to a song written by Kevin and Cedric Kine's nephew, wondering why his uncles were taken way too soon. The GBI says the Kine brothers were found dead just minutes apart on July 19, 2019, after being shot to death. Kevin Kine was originally found at a local car wash, and as family members went to go notify his brother, they then found Cedric Kine also deceased at his home. Now their mother and the family continues on their journey looking to help the GBI capture a suspect. Kine says it's not a day goes by that she doesn't think about the murders of her sons.
You go to bed with it, you wake up with it, it's just with you all day.
Kine says her sons were two guys that would brighten up any room.
Kevin and Cedric were two young men full of life, very kind, very loving.
Now the family, along with the best friend of the Kine brothers, are not only looking to bring awareness through the Walk a Runway for a Cause event, they are seeking justice.
And I really feel like it's somebody that I know or right among us because it happened in a small town, so somebody knows something.
But in the meantime, Bernard Baker says family and friends will remember the good times as they heal together.
They should remember, especially Kevin, they should remember he loved to barbecue. He would pop up and do a surprise barbecue at the church at any given minute. Cedric was the life of the party.
And while family and friends look to keep celebrating the lives of the Kine brothers, Kine says she's still hopeful to see justice.
I have faith. I'm trusting and believing that we are going to see some justice very soon.
Reporting in Fort Valley, I'm Carlos Stevens, WGXA News.
A celebration of achievement turned deadly in North Georgia. Atlanta police say they received a call early Sunday morning about the shooting outside of Benjamin E. Mays High School. Investigators say a group of teens had gathered along a driveway exiting the school for what looked to be a graduation party. At some point, someone fired a shot and two 16-year-olds were hit. Briasha Powell died from her wounds. The second teen is in stable condition. Detectives are still investigating what happened. So far, no arrests have been made, and it's unclear what led up to those shootings. And a Texas grand jury has indicted this man for the murder of rapper Takeoff. Patrick Clark was arrested in connection with the December killing of the Georgia star Takeoff, a member of the rap group Migos. He was shot to death outside a private party at a bowling alley in Houston, Texas. The city's police chief said an argument led to the shooting. Clark's defense attorney says the indictment was expected, but adds she believes the jury will come back with a not guilty verdict. Clark was released on $1 million bond back in January, and he's now on 24/7 house arrest. It was a bit of a breezy and cooler Memorial Day weekend, and we've got meteorologist Ryan Mirando here with a check on the forecast. And Ryan, you say we've still got a bit of a reality check headed back to work this week.
Today was really the best day, though, out of the holiday weekend. We had bright sunshine. Those winds were beginning to come down. A live lookout over Dublin with our Wilson Bryant Heating and Air Skycast Network. Temperatures right now still mostly into the low 80s. A few of us are in the upper 70s as that winds out of the northwest. 80 degrees currently in Macon, 82 there in Dublin, 77 in Sparta, and 81 degrees in Montezuma. The reason that we had a lot of this cooler and windier weather was because this low pressure system that's now spinning up over areas of North Carolina has brought us a lot of that wind. But as this drifts farther north, that wind is going to continue to diminish for the rest of tonight. So it's a really nice evening for your Memorial Day. 79 degrees at 7 o'clock. 68 by 10. Temperatures should be cooling off into the low 60s and upper 50s through the overnight hours. So it will be cool tonight with low humidity. We could have some patchy fog that develops through the overnight hours and for early tomorrow morning. Although we do have a work week reality check. I'll talk more about that coming up in your full forecast. Greg.
All right, Ryan, thank you. It's a great time to download that free WGXA weather app. You'll always be up to date on the latest changing weather conditions. Ryan's back in less than 20 minutes with your 10-day forecast. President Biden and House Speaker McCarthy are now in a race against the clock to convince enough members in Congress to vote for the debt ceiling deal before the first potential default of June 5th. Altra El-Nashar reports on the opposition they're facing from members of both parties.
A long-awaited debt ceiling deal now being put to the test in the halls of Congress, with the House vote set for Wednesday. Progressives and conservatives skeptical of the terms agreed to by President Joe Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy.
People feel that this is bad policy.
I'm one of those people that wanted bigger reductions, but I also recognize we control only the House of Representatives.
The deal, titled the Fiscal Responsibility Act, would raise the debt ceiling until January 2025, essentially freeze non-defense spending for fiscal year 2024 with a 1% increase the following year. It tightens work requirements for some government assistance, pulls back about $30 billion in unused COVID funds, and repurposes $20 billion in new IRS funding over a decade.
No one got everything they want. Maybe it doesn't do everything for everyone, but this is a step in the right direction that no one thought we would be at today.
The first hurdle is Tuesday, when the powerful House Rules Committee considers the bill. A handful of Republicans on the panel not happy with the text. One of them, Congressman Ralph Norman, calling it insanity. He and others say it doesn't come with nearly enough cuts. That's exactly how the White House is pitching to skeptical progressives, focusing on the cuts Republicans wanted that did not make it into the final bill, like changes to Medicaid, clean energy tax credits, and the President's student loan forgiveness plan, though that's pending at the Supreme Court. Over in the Senate, the process could be delayed if even just one member acts on their opposition. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham hinting it may come from him. He's not satisfied that the bill matches the president's defense budget of $886 billion.
You will have a hard time with me. Spending below inflation is not fully funding the military.
A coalition of moderates looking to be the bill's best chance for passage. Leadership now not wasting any time whipping votes to get it over the finish line by June 5th. On Capitol Hill, I'm Atrell Najjar reporting.
BIP property owners, they will soon be receiving new valuation assessments. The value shown on your assessment will be as of January 1st of this year. Taxes owed will be based on the 2022 millage rate, but will include the impact of a $5 million reduction as a part of Mayor Miller's tax cut, which is still waiting to be approved. County leaders say the actual taxes owed on the property may change from the estimate in the notice due to the final approval of the millage rates by commissioners and the Board of Education. The notices advise that property owners in Macon may appeal a property valuation by filing a written appeal within 45 days of the receipt of those notices. And gas prices have risen slightly over the past week. According to AAA, the average cost of a gallon of gas Monday was $3.58. That's up 4 cents from last Monday. The slight increase comes as gasoline demand was higher over the Memorial Day weekend. AAA forecast that more than 37 million Americans were driving to their destinations over this weekend. And speaking of the Memorial Day weekend, a live look now at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport in Atlanta as AAA expects Georgians' air travel numbers to reach a new record high today. 114,000 Georgians are forecast to fly over this weekend, which is 12,000 more passengers than last year's holiday. This year, 1.3 million Georgians were expected to travel at least 50 miles or more on the roadways or in the air. That's 86,000 more than last year and 13,000 more than in 2019 before the pandemic. All over the mid-state today, communities stopped to remember the somber meaning behind Memorial Day. The city of Cochran held its annual Memorial Day ceremony. Our Brianna Cook attended that service, and she joins us live now in the studio. Brianna?
The city of Cochran showed their appreciation for Memorial Day in today's ceremony.
God has blessed America, and He will continue to bless America as we trust Him.
Local officials, citizens, and veterans gathered in Cochran to honor Memorial Day. Memorial Day is a day of reflection and remembrance for those who died while serving in the United States military. Donnie Dixon, United States veteran, says it's important to him to observe Memorial Day.
It's about them. It is about their sacrifice. I wouldn't be here and able to speak freely if it weren't for that. I feel it's my duty as a veteran and a citizen of the United States to continue to honor them as long as we can.
The service consisted of the presentation of colors, the national anthem, and a video of those the city of Cochran is honoring for this year's Memorial Day. Cochran has 55 crosses and 1 Star of David in front of their courthouse.
We're unique in the sense that we are one of the few communities that puts the crosses and the names of the individuals out in front of our courthouse. We're a small community, but we have a number of men and women from going all the way back to the Spanish-American War that have died in the service of their country.
Dixon says some get confused on the different military-based holidays and wants to issue a reminder for what Memorial Day really means.
We often try to combine Memorial Day and Veterans Day and 4th of July as all as if they're the same. Memorial Day is strictly and always to honor those men and women who have given their lives in the service of our country.
Says Cochrane has crosses of honor that date back to the 1800s. Reporting live in studio, Brianna Cook, WGXA News.
And in Macon this morning, Sardis Hurd Funerals and Cremation Center held a grill out to gather the community to honor and remember fallen heroes who bravely served our country. Folks enjoyed a classic Memorial Day meal of hot dogs and hamburgers while listening to a special speech from the Patriot Guard Riders. That's an organization dedicated to making sure no veteran's family is alone after their death.
To thank veterans for their service. We have a day for that. It's called Veterans Day. Today is Memorial Day. And today, for Gold Star families, those that have lost an immediate family member in the service of our country, it's important to remember their service and sacrifice. Today is the day that they remember that sacrifice that their family has made, the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom.
They say America would not be where we are without those brave sacrifices. And the city of Warner Robins hosted its own ceremony to mark Memorial Day today at City Hall. Multiple people, including Mayor LaRhonda Patrick, took to the podium to honor those who lost their lives in service to our country.
It's important to the city of Warner Robins and me during my administration to always honor our military service members and also those that we have lost as they fought for our freedoms. We're right here by Robins Air Force Base. I come from a very strong military family, so anything when we're honoring our military is important to me.
The event was also capped with a poem reading by Vietnam veteran William Carey and the presenting of colors and performance of taps by Tammy Urbanski. And after 73 years, a soldier was finally laid to rest today at home in Sumter County. The Defense Prisoner of War and Missing in Action Accounting Agency identified the remains of Army Corporal Luther Story. The DPAA says Story was 19 years old when he was killed in action while fighting in South Korea back in 1950. He was later posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor for his actions. Story remains were buried as unknown in Hawaii until they were exhumed and analyzed in 2021. They say his family was able to bring him back and bury him today in Andersonville. Our Gloria Ruth Finney was there, and she will bring us more on that tonight at 11.
Well, after a cooler and windier Memorial Day weekend, we do have a bit of a reality check as we head back to work tomorrow. And the first part about that will be the air mass. Tomorrow, the humidity is going to start to rise up. Dew points will be into the 60s, but it's really Wednesday and straight through the first weekend of June. The humidity is going to be on that uptick rather than the refreshing air mass that we had over the weekend. It still was really a beautiful day out today, really the best day out of the weekend. A live look out over Mercer University with our Wilson Bryant Heating and Air Skycast Network. Temperatures today made it into the low 80s. We still do have that wind, but it's not as strong as it was on Saturday and Sunday, now out of the northwest instead of the northeast. Temperatures across the area, 80 now in Macon, 82 in Mount Vernon, 81 in Wrightsville. A little cooler to the north and west where that wind's blowing out of 73 in Thomaston and 78 degrees in Butler. But a lot of May has been below average, including today. We've had 20 days so far this month of temperatures falling below the average. So our temperatures running around 4 degrees below where they should be. And the last 2 days of May will likely also be filled in with that blue. The reason why we had such below average temperatures this weekend was due to this low pressure that's spinning now off of portions of North Carolina, brought us a northeasterly wind. Now, as that shifts farther to the north, the more humid air mass will come in to replace it. And that means we will have some rain chances really starting on Wednesday and going straight through the weekend. Tomorrow, we should stay dry. Wednesday looks to be the day with the most coverage of rain, some scattered showers and storms around. But really Thursday through the weekend, there is a chance for some isolated storms. Not expecting any widespread rain, though, in the near future. For the rest of tonight, it will be calm, cool, and dry. Overnight low 60 degrees in Macon, 58 in Roberta, 59 in Montezuma, and 60 degrees in McRae. We could have some patchy fog that does develop in the overnight hours and should be burning off by mid-morning, but it is going to be a rather nice day tomorrow as that humidity starts to tick up. Temperatures should make it up into the mid-80s with a good deal of sunshine. However, temperatures still are below average, and that's really going to stay the way for the entire work week. Temperatures falling below average on Tuesday, running around 2 degrees below average, and by Friday, the second day of June, we're still below average. All the heat's really going to be trapped over the Midwest. So in your 10-day forecast tomorrow, the humidity starts to uptick as we get more towards that reality check of the humidity and the rain chances. 85 degrees for the high tomorrow. On Wednesday, we're in that summertime pattern with a few isolated storms. In the afternoon, the high only 83 degrees, and we're really not going to be seeing any 90s anytime soon. On Thursday, mostly cloudy. A stray storm is still around 84. Friday, the end of the work week, still more isolated PM storms in the afternoon, not a washout of many days. 86 degrees. Heading into the first weekend of June, it looks relatively nice. Mostly sunny on Saturday, 85. Increasing clouds on Sunday, a cooler 82 degrees. And again, we do have some small rain chances for each of those days. And then Monday, partly cloudy, 84 degrees. No 90s in sight. Our average high is almost 90 degrees. It's 89. So pretty abnormal cold that we're seeing for this time of the year. So lastly, here's your Harrison's Body Shop Fish and Game forecast. Peaks at 11 a.m. and 11:40 p.m.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Gary Thigpen, and I'm here again today at All of Our Animals Rescue in Macon-Bibb County. I'm joined again with Lisa and Allison. And Lisa, who do we have today?
We have the amazingly regal Fendi. So Fendi's been on before, and she still hasn't been adopted, and we really don't understand why.
She's such a sweet
Y'all,
girl.
she is the perfect dog. We just had our road race last weekend, right? And she would be the perfect exercise friend for you.
Yes.
So she'll exercise with you every day. She's pretty active. She's pretty busy. Allison's had her in the play yard this morning. See, I'm getting a hug. I'm getting a hug. And so I know, and I'm getting a kiss. And so I know she wants me to take her home. But but she's a couple years old. She's full grown. Look, y'all, she will make you an excellent companion for the rest of your life. So.
And she's about how old now?
She's just a couple of years old. I'm getting dog kisses. Yeah. And look how sweet she is. Like, y'all, she's so loving. Hey, Gary. She's so loving. How can you resist this?
How can you resist
This
Fendi?
is her moment. She shines. We really want to find her as soon as possible. She's ready. She's fully vetted and ready to go.
Fully vetted and ready. You heard that. So if someone would like to adopt Fendi, come on, let's do that, folks. How do they do that?
Yes, please send us a message on Facebook, All About Animals Rescue. Tell her you saw this amazing Fendi on Facebook, and we'll set up a meet and greet.
All right, let's do that today, folks. Let's find her a good home. Thank you so much, Allison and Lisa.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
All right, Mr. Miranda, we got you in here because we want some opinions on what we're about to talk about. I'm sure we'll get them too. An online ordering and food delivery service is in the know for this summer's grilling condiments on the go.
Ooh.
Now, DoorDash ranks the top condiments purchased for your topping as the favorite for grilled burgers, and it comes down to DoorDash says ketchup is number one.
Okay.
Can you believe that? All right.
That makes sense.
So what do you think number two would be?
I guess number two, it may say mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise could catch up, get what we did there, by 2025 because mayonnaise is number two and mustard holds steadily in the Southeast is number three for burgers.
Okay.
I'm surprised that's not turned around, but I love mayonnaise.
I do like mayonnaise.
You like it too? Interestingly, relish and ranch dressing finished out the top five. I don't think I've ever had ranch on a hamburger. I guess maybe some people season it.
I'm like the most boring person ever. If I'm eating a burger, I usually won't put any kind of sauces on it. But like my favorite condiment side dish is barbecue sauce. But I feel like that doesn't belong on burgers.
But do you use it on burgers, whether it belongs on it or not?
Not really.
If you like it.
Like I'll dip my chicken nuggets in it, but maybe not a burger and barbecue sauce.
Well, no, I haven't done that. I think some people probably do. It's all about what you like.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like ketchup that way at all.
Let me just go back to something you said. You said you're boring.
I'm boring.
You are the least boring person. I think we can all agree with that. In the back, they're even saying you're the least boring person we've ever known.
A little boring, but I don't like ketchup at all. So that's not going on chicken nuggets, burgers.
That's not boring. That's just weird. Nah, I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. All right.
Not this.
That's going to do it. If you like what you see, we hope you'll join us at 5:30 each weekday here live. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And we invite you to join us at 6 on ABC 16. See you there.